Clive Barker Podcast, A-Z Commentaries.
Thanks to your generous donations to our Kickstarter funding campaign,
Clive Barker Podcast presents Fundraiser 9.
Celebrations!
Welcome. This is episode 348 of the Clive Barker Podcast. Today we're doing an episode, and if you think you've seen every single Clive Barker movie, you probably haven't, because we're doing good morning or good afternoon, Jose.
Good morning to you, my friend. I know that you just woke up, and it's cold and hopefully sunny in Alaska.
Yeah, I think it's like probably 37 degrees or something.
Oh
like
my
that. So
God.
it's above freezing. I'm happy.
Jesus Christ. Okay, we're getting to 80-something over here in Ohio.
Wow.
So the spring is in full swing, and I'm also a little full of allergies and stuff. So I took care of my voice so we could have some good quality talking. Because yesterday I was so like raspy, but today I'm feeling better. Today
is a commentary for the movie Mule Skinner Blues, and if you're a rabid Clive Barker fan and you still haven't heard of this, I completely understand, because we've only read about it in passing on some interviews with Clive by Phil and Sarah, the revelatory interviews.
Yeah, and this popped up in Clive Barker's IMDb, right? So we're like, I wonder what this is. It was kind of the same as Jojo Baby. You said if you think you know all Clive Barker movie. Well, his contribution to this is pretty much just putting his name on it. But we'll get into that.
Yeah. So you can get this on DVD. As far as I can tell, I couldn't find anywhere where you could stream it. I did a search, and searching for this is problematic because Mule Skinner Blues is also the name of an old country song, and so you get a lot of hits of like Dolly Parton singing this song, and so this movie is not easy to look up on streaming. You can get a DVD. When I checked on Amazon, somebody was selling one for $107.
Wow!
So I would maybe try eBay and see if that helps for you. So if you want to end up watching along with us, go ahead and pause it here, and until you can get the movie, and then watch it with us. It's a documentary. There's not really much to spoil because it's weird. I mean, they talk about the ending right at the start, so it's not exactly a thing that you can spoil. But still, I mean, it's a bizarre movie. Maybe if you'll never see it, you'll just hear us talk about it in this episode, because we're probably not going to talk about it again after this.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I like this sort of like documentary. In previous episodes, we both called it mockumentary because I hadn't seen it at that point yet. But it's not a mockumentary. No. These people are very much real. They live in area of Jacksonville, Florida. And I kind of fell a little bit in love with them. We were talking just before we started recording. You said, some of these people made me feel a little sad. And I get that part. These are people who live in a trailer park and they're kind of down on their luck, but they're good-hearted folks.
And alcoholics, too. I mean, some of them, they're drunk. They seem like they're just drunk constantly when they're talking to the camera.
They sure like their schnapps or their beer or, Yeah. But a lot of these people are also, genuine. They're really genuine. They have a love for each other and for what they're about to do in this documentary, which is about making kind of like a creature feature movie, right? The director for this, Stephen Earnhart. There's a quick story on. I guess we should get the movie going because there's not a lot that I can talk about throughout the entire movie. So the more we have to talk about through the documentary, the better. Yeah. I suggest we do the countdown and get started on this.
Yeah, and I think the movie is a little jaw dropping, so I'm gonna do my best to still try to talk. But But oh my God, this is not. When you go to see a Clive Barker movie, this is not what you have in mind. Okay, so we've got it down. We've got it at the beginning. I've got a black screen here. I'll do a countdown. I don't know if I've done one in a while.
Sounds good.
Okay, we'll hit play on 3, 2, 1, play. I've got their Sundance channel.
And the Steel Carrot Productions logo.
Yeah.
So in May of 97, a New York film crew traveled to a trailer park in Florida to shoot a music video. And,
yeah.
and they ended up meeting this guy called Beanie Andrew. He's a complete character, right?
Yeah.
So he just kind of, yeah. So this guy for years, he had wanted to do like, a monster movie, Beanie Andrew. And he's a mover and a shaker, man. He probably looks like he's in the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His secret that he tells them is kind of bizarre and hilarious.
Yeah. That he always wanted to be able to go to a swamp and bury himself in the mud and come up dressed as a gorilla.
Yeah. Like we all do.
Yeah.
Right.
He's a freaky person, to say the least.
Yeah.
And this is narrated by the guy he meets who writes the movie for him. I think he's called Larry.
Yeah, right. And he's like he does like apartment cleaning and stuff, and
with his Filipino wife.
Yeah, and he likes writing horror stories in his spare time.
Clive Barker presents.
Yeah.
So I was going to talk about the director. So Stephen Earnhart. So here's what I found out about Stephen Earnhart. So he became a director of production for Miramax Films, right? And the supervised aspects of production for films like Madonna, Truth or Dare, Neil Jordan's The Miracle, Bill Duke's A Rage in Harlem, and he also worked on several seasons of Saturday Night Live. He also was a cultist in Lord of Illusions. He's in there somewhere.
That's amazing.
Yeah. He's one of the cultists.
I wish now that we could see a picture of him. I guess on IMDb we can see him.
I'll add some links to the show notes. I found his website as Beanie Andrew, driving without a shirt in Florida.
Oh, God.
But he's got a hat and sunglasses.
Yeah, and his cool car.
So Phil and Sarah in Revelatory interview number 21 asked him how he got involved with Mule Skinner Blues. And there's not a lot of stuff about Clive and Mule Skinner Blues, but he said, that was just something that came to me. Someone I had known actually at what used to be Miramax, and he showed me the project, and I loved it. And I said, well, anything I can do to help? And he said, put your name on it. And I said, I'm very happy to do that because that helped him and helped that picture. It was partially formed when I first saw it. So it was partially formed when he saw it, and there you go. That's all he says about it.
Wow.
It turns out Stephen Earnhart was the guy at Miramax that he knew. And not only was he a cultist in Clive Barker's Lord of Illusions, apparently there was an old website that I found that said that he also was going to adapt Colossus from Clive Barker as a movie. But this is from a really old website.
Well, that would have been cool.
Yeah, that would have been cool. But that never happened, apparently. And hey, he lived in Kamakura, Japan for 11 months, writing and shooting materials.
Wow.
So he also lived in Japan for a while. Yeah, when you look at his website, he seems to have a lot of links to, the Japan Foundation, the Japan-U.S. Friendship Commission, New York State Council for the Arts, the Asian Society. He's a graduate of New York University.
Wow.
And has an MFA in theater from the Sarah Lawrence College.
So here we're looking at Beanie like just dancing around and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's this old guy, and it's sort of interesting that he just likes singing and dancing around at random.
Yeah. And he's like, if I go to a nightclub and someone has a shirt just like mine, I'll just go back to my trailer and change my shirt.
Yeah.
Because he likes to be different.
Yeah.
This guy looks like he's living the life.
Yeah.
And he's telling the story.
Yeah. Yeah, and as we start this movie out, you think that Beanie is going to be the main character, but there's almost an equal focus on all these other people, too.
Sure.
Yeah.
So here's what I found out about why Stephen Earnhart went there from New York to shoot a video. So it looks like he was shooting a video for Jim White, who was from that area. And Beanie ended up being an extra in that video. And this was being recorded for Luwaka Bop, which is David Byrne's label. Yeah, I looked up. I found the records for Jim White put out by Luwaka Bop. And so he was just an extra in the video. He's just dancing around, smoking, looking cool throughout the music video. Because he was a local kind of figure, right?
Yeah.
And I guess that's how they got connected and ended up making this documentary.
Wow. So he said, "There's all these crazy characters. I wanna focus on them a little more." So, do you know what year? I mean, it's impossible because everything all these people have is old, right? Do you know like around what year this was actually filmed? I mean, we know the movie came out in 2001, but
right. But
it seems like it takes place over a few years, and it kind of seems like it has a 90s vibe to it, but it's hard to tell.
Yeah, I don't know exactly when this footage was filmed.
Yeah.
A lot of it looks like it's just shot in like a. I don't think that maybe this was a VHS camera.
I think definitely a lot of parts of it are.
Yeah, the Stephen Earnhart definitely used the digital camera. This is in a 4:3 TV format.
Yeah.
But I think there's also stuff that we see now, like the stuff we're watching right now, with the guy smoking around a burning oil drum. This is like him with that camera he just showed that he once found.
Yeah, the VHS camera.
Yeah. And here's Ricky Licks. He sings pretty well.
Yeah. Well, and this part where it cuts away into like a sort of a music video with him having stuff behind him. I mean, that switches out of the VHS camera into something else.
Yeah. I think that's Stephen Earnhardt's work.
Yeah.
It looks like it. At first, I thought when I was watching this, I was like, "This guy Ricky Licks, is he an actor? Is he also a real person in this?" At first, I thought he was an actor just because.
He's just being highlighted by the filmmakers, right?
Yeah, he's so expressive, and I thought at first he might be an actor, but no, that's just who he is.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting how he's like a second banana in this band, and you wouldn't know it from this part here.
Yeah,
because he's so much better than this other guy who can barely talk.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love his music. I think it's got a lot of feeling to it.
Yeah.
Steve Walker and Ricky Licks, and Steve Walker is the Vietnam vet.
Yeah, but they've also added more instrumentation to this, right? So it's a little bit cheating.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's called production, Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah, Steve Walker.
This guy, he's singing his heart out.
Yeah.
Like a cinder block home.
That Steve Walker reminds me of an uncle that I had. He's dead now, but he was.
Oh yeah.
He was kind of drunk and incoherent, like this guy.
Yeah, was he a rebel?
No.
All right.
No, he was just annoying.
Yeah. We've all had one uncle like that. I had some alcoholic uncles myself.
Yeah.
When they were playing, I don't know if that was like their practice studio. I'm loath to call it a studio, but maybe a garage space. It's just a cinder block building.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's telling that he sings his songs from 14-year-old kids to 75-year-old men.
Yeah.
He's holding his beer and his cigarette. He's got his nice looking mullet there.
Yeah.
Which is not going to survive through the end of the documentary. Because he had a welding accident that got his hair caught on fire and had to cut it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it's not many of these characters do you hear about them actually holding down a job, I guess.
Yeah, they don't really get into that much.
Yeah.
They're just more like focused on their creative side.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you something. He really plays a mean guitar. Like Ricky Licks and Steve Walker, they really play, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Which is what kind of set Beanie Andrew to start recording some of these people and get in touch with that production crew. Because he's like, there's a lot of talented people here in the trailer park.
Yeah. This is like this is a little bit like a sort of a sad version of Ed Wood.
Yeah, like that lady's got such bony legs, the one that's dancing.
Oh, yeah.
She looks malnourished.
Oh, yeah, jeez. I think you might be a couple of seconds ahead of me.
Oh, sorry about that. I'll pause for a couple of seconds. There we go. It's because when I was watching this last night, I set the player to have a little faster playback speed because I was like, oh my God, it's a little sloggy in some parts.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Oh, this lady.
It was rough for me, I got to say. This hour and a half movie, or it's 1 hour and 33 minutes, felt like 4 hours.
Yeah. Is this Annabelle?
Yeah.
Oh my God, she's such a Miss Jeannie. No, she's Miss Jeannie. Yeah.
There we go. And she died through the in the middle of the production of this movie.
Yeah, that's so sad. There's a funny music video at the end of the documentary called "I'm Not Going to Get Another DUI."
Yeah, she thought that was going to be her hit that would break her out and make her famous.
Well, it kind of did. I mean, here we are watching this.
Well, that's true.
Definitely Clive Barker putting his name on it made sure that we had this had a couple other viewers.
Yeah. Yeah, and for people out there wondering, I mean, I think you touched on this already, but it's really Clive Barker helping out his friend. He didn't really have any creative input into this.
Yeah, but he loved the documentary and he wanted to help, so he just put his name on it.
Yeah.
And she's yodeling because, Mule Skinner Blues, the title song, right? The classic country song written by Jimmy Rogers and George Vaughan from 1930. And, and it's also called Blue Yodel number 8. Yeah. So there's yodeling in this.
So not a single mule was skinned during the production of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea what this was going to be about at all. I mean, even though we've read a little bit about it, we've talked about it before, but I watched it for the first time last night, and I'm like, this is like, I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't this.
Yeah, this surprised me in the positive. I thought it was going to be a little less interesting, and it became really interesting to me. Because have you ever seen an American movie?
Is that's an actual name of a movie?
Yeah, American Movie is this also documentary from 1999, directed by Chris Smith. It's about a guy who wants to make a horror movie as well. Okay. So he's this dude with a mullet, and it's just his struggle of trying to get his friends to join in and try to get funding to make a movie. And he befriends a guy who lives in a trailer. And he gives him some funding for the movie, and he makes a black and white film.
Huh. So this is sort of like that, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Here's the guy who's going to write the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny that he brings this to this guy, and this guy's got more of a sort of a background in reading horror novels and stuff, and he's like, okay, you got to build this movie around the concept of a gorilla coming up out of the mud and scaring somebody.
Yeah, I mean, that's not too far from how those drive-in movies were made back in the day. I mean, most times Roger Corman would just contract a painter to paint a poster with like some weird idea, and then that's what they would use to get funding to actually make the movie around the poster.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how they did it.
And here they're like, okay, what have we got? We've got a junkyard and a crane.
Yeah.
And
he's watching a House on Haunted Hill right now.
Oh, yeah.
Where the skeleton pushes the woman in the acid.
It was interesting to me how much they could get away with putting in footage from other movies.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess House on Haunted Hill is like public domain now,
yeah,
right?
But there's also Evil Dead is in here for quite a while.
Yeah. It's fair use, I would say.
Yeah.
He's got this awesome copy of the script for The Mummy signed by Christopher Lee that he was part of the Christopher Lee fan club.
Yeah.
And that's really amazing.
My wife doesn't care for any of this stuff.
Isn't that always how it is?
Yes.
Well, also he got married really old at an older part of his life, and he ended up having this part where he's talking about the vampire movies and how the teeth penetrating the skin is like penetrating the vagina. I'm like, okay, well, wow, that's.
I know.
Okay,
I mean, people sort of have an understanding of that without just coming right out and saying it.
Yeah. The way he's typing on his typewriter, though, with those glasses that have the pull-up shades on them.
Yeah.
Like, you're inside the house. You don't need those shades.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see a little bit of Evil Dead back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he writes schlock, basically, right? I mean, he's reading a part of his page of his script, and it's basically just a schlocky script, like you'd expect, you know? Hey, you know, that's the stuff he likes. That's the stuff he watches. Like, you got to love the cars that you see in this one, too.
Yeah,
like,
well, just this one car.
Is that like a Lincoln Town car? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
It's really long.
And he loses it later on in the movie.
Yeah, he's scouting for locations right now.
Yeah.
Someone's banging on an oil drum. Sounds like shots.
Yeah.
There's a boat for some reason in the middle of a junkyard. Yeah, thanks. Jacksonville, Florida. I think my wife Sarah, she grew up in Pensacola.
Oh.
I don't know if she ever went to Jacksonville. Probably. There's a channel on YouTube I like to listen to. It's called The Uncharted Zone, and it's run by this guy Phil Thomas Cat, and he also is a local talent kind of guy. So he has a lot of like music videos that he records from people around that Pensacola area, and he calls that YouTube channel The Uncharted Zone. So you can see like these people, you know, usually older artists, just playing their songs. And then there's a lot of green screen involved with like, you know, the Gulf behind them and stuff. It's kind of neat. It kind of reminds me a little bit of some of the people you see in this.
So I guess I put Seraphim Films in the show notes, but this is not a Seraphim movie.
No.
I mean, he's a producer, but...
No, this is produced by Beantile Productions, Solaris Film Productions, and Steel Carrot.
And Sundance something or other.
Sundance distributed it, I think. Yeah. So they're trying to they're working backwards here, right?
Yeah.
So they're like, gorilla costume, come out of the mud, you don't have an arm, you're looking for the man who took your arm. Yeah, you're looking for your arm in the swamp.
That part, when you get to the movie, too, that's nonsense, right? He's out there yelling about his arm, and he's got two arms.
I'd never noticed that part.
He's like, you stole my arm, and he's shaking his two arms up in the air.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I was just taken by the line, and I totally missed that.
Maybe as a spirit, he had 2 arms. It's just weird.
It's a phantom limb.
Yeah.
So they found a lady with rainbow suspenders in the trailer park. She's got a gorilla costume. She's got a garage full of costumes.
Yeah. And this music reminds me of that song from Lord of Illusions.
When the blood running warm in your veins.
Yeah. You better get yourself religion.
You got a nice singing voice, Brian.
I know.
Yeah, this lady used to, she studied in college for like costuming. So she's a pretty good designer.
Yeah.
And oh my God, this part with the dog. Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, that was when I said, okay, this is definitely not a mockumentary, when they showed the dog in the freezer.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh,
so,
like, oh God.
She had some footage here of her little dog. It's a pit bull. But she adopted it. She rescued the dog, and the dog had been abused. He had like burn marks all over his like skin and missing some teeth, and was hooked on cocaine.
Why would a dog be hooked on cocaine?
Because people are scum.
Yeah.
And she had to give him a beer every day for a month to get him to lose the shakes, like getting off of cocaine. And she loved him so much, she has him in a backyard freezer, and that's the part that we're seeing here.
Oh God!
But he looks preserved. You know, she wrapped him in a nice little blanket.
Yeah,
and it's kind of touching but sad.
It's disturbing.
Yeah, I know. Well, she's like, well, I'm never going to take him to like a taxidermy because they would just cut the skin off and throw away the carcass. So he was too nice a boy for that. Like, here's a thought. How about you just bury him with dignity?
Yeah.
But, you know, people have their own little idiosyncrasies, right? Yeah. I mean. Oh, she needs some schnapps for her voice.
Yeah.
That's how you get a DUI, lady.
Yeah.
But you go to Florida, you have a lot of these like small town artists and trailer park talent. And I say that without any sort of judgment. It's just they're down on their luck, and their creativity and their talent is the only thing that keeps them going, you know?
Yeah, well, and alcohol.
Yeah, you know. Got to fill the tank.
I guess.
Well, there's a reason they live in a trailer park sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's her partner.
Yeah, and later on in the movie, she throws him out, and I didn't quite catch what she said about what he did that made her throw him out of the house. I
guess they had a falling out.
This part with him playing the kazoo, and he says, a kazoo is a great instrument. I don't know why they say it's for kids. I'd like to see a kid play one of these. That's what they do. Anybody can play that.
Disclaimer, I have a kazoo.
Yeah.
I bought one once. I went into a music shop, and it was the only thing I could afford. I was like, oh, okay, I'll get a kazoo. And it was like...
Yeah.
It's fun for like 10 minutes, and then it's just annoying.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I hear that guy, they're playing the guitar and singing, and the guy's just playing the kazoo in the background, and I just want to grab that kazoo and throw it out the window.
I know. Yeah, he's ruining their song. He doesn't think that way, but beanie.
Drinking malt liquor from a brown paper bag.
Yeah. So I haven't actually heard the song Mule Skinner Blues. I'm wondering how it relates to this movie.
I didn't go that deep into the research. I know that Iggy Pop has a song called Mule Skinner Blues that's pretty funny.
Oh.
But yeah.
Do you think it's the same? It's like his take on the same song?
It's not the same song. It's it's a very funny take on the song, I guess. He does yodel a little bit and he whoops and hollers in it, but it was never really released. It's kind of a bootleg that he recorded in the studio.
And here we're hearing about how Beanie and some other people used to do shrimping on these shrimp boats. And then this is a little vague, but it's something about some regulation about something they had to do to the nets to keep turtles from getting in them.
Yeah.
And it made it so they couldn't catch any more shrimp.
Yeah.
So they couldn't adapt, and they, just kind of lost their way.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually what it happens. Like, so that was as of January '93. Shrimp trawlers in shore waters must use TEDs. So apparently I found the regulation now that you were talking. So this is probably post 92 because that's when the regulation went into progress.
Yeah.
Yeah. Said turtle excluder devices, TEDs. Tows must be limited to 55 minutes or less from April 1st through October 31st. Yeah, they limited some stuff, and they limited the kind of nets they could use. Because turtles were being wiped out because they were catching shrimp, but they were also catching the turtles in the nets, and the turtles were dying.
Yeah.
Yep. It was part of the Endangered Species Act. Sometimes you got to do that so you can protect. You can protect these species from going extinct.
Well, it kind of makes you wonder what does Beanie do for a living now that he's not catching fish? Because he's not going to be making money playing his kazoo and wandering around town dancing and stuff.
He's a movie maker and a producer, Ryan.
Yeah,
that's what he does. Probably retired. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean,
doing odd stuff here and there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who... Oh,
that's right. He said he had a lawn mowing service with his little push mower.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Now we're seeing images from Creature of the Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a really central character in this. Another movie that was made almost by accident and involves an ape costume that I have a particularly fondness for. It's Robot Monster.
Oh, yeah.
You ever see Robot Monster?
I think, yes.
The creature's so weird. It's supposed to be an alien, but it's basically just a gigantic ape costume and then a fishbowl astronaut helmet on top.
Yeah.
So low budget. It's fascinating. Ricky Licks in his trailer home with his partner. There's a lot of smoking in this too.
Yeah, everybody.
Pretty much everybody's smoking and drinking. There are some reviews that I found about this from people who watch it on Amazon. One says, Beanie rocks. This documentary is awesome. Another one says, Beanie was a great guy that showed passion for his fellow man. He set out his goal to make a movie, made it happen. Sad that he passed away, but he touched many lives.
Oh, they didn't talk about him passing away in this movie. It must have happened after.
Yeah. Oh, this is a gruesome story, right? Steve Walker talking about this painting that's splattered with blood from an ex-girlfriend who shot her brains out.
Yeah.
That's gruesome.
Yeah.
Some of these people have gone through a lot.
Yeah.
And he wrote a song called Picture on the Wall in honor of her.
Oh.
Yeah. It's it's interesting that he still thought at this time, or maybe he's just saying that for the camera, but he still believed that his time is going to come. He's going to get discovered.
Yeah.
He's going to get famous.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Yeah. This lady looks sweet.
It's kind of amazing how many, if you look at all the streaming services, how many documentaries they all have now. I mean, now there's a kind of a place for documentaries that didn't exist before. So you would think that this one could find its way onto one of those.
I found a ridiculous Amazon review, 1 star, Mule Skinner Blues. Said, this was given as a gift. The recipient didn't like it. I haven't seen it, so my 1 star above isn't correct. I just had to put something in.
What a jerk. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, you just wait until you watch it first.
And someone said, here's an update on The People. This has long been one of my favorite movies. I recently went to Jacksonville and visited... Hang on, cats. Okay. And visited the old Buccaneer Trailer Park site where a lot of this film was made. It's not there any longer, just a jungle of oak trees and Spanish moss with a few old foundations and slabs still visible. Oh, so the trailer park doesn't exist anymore. I spoke to Ken at the Mayport Shrimp Stand who said that Beanie Andrew's been dead about 9 or 10 years and that Miss Jeannie is also dead. Mm-hmm. So this was in 2015, so he probably died in 2005. Like 4 years after this.
Yeah.
He did say that one man who played guitar and always wore a cowboy hat did get himself cleaned up and no longer drinks. He works as a welder now. That's probably
Steve
Ricky
Walker, right?
Steve Walker. Yeah.
He's welding in the movie.
Yeah. I think that could be Miss Jeannie's real good friend and singing partner, Ray. That's Steve Walker, I think. Yeah. As for everyone else, Ken says that most of them are still alcoholics and some are homeless now. Though I imagine that Larry Parrott and Miss Annabelle Lee Usher are doing fine since they were the only cast members who didn't seem to have drinking problems and had stable home lives. Yeah. Just wanted to provide an update. And this was from Rochelle Ellis back in 2015 on Amazon Reviews. So that's interesting. Yeah. It's turns out for documentaries, Amazon is a great place to find reviews from people.
Yeah.
Oh, look, see, this is Miss Jeannie telling about when she was going to do an operation and she almost had a near-death experience, right?
And she said she was allergic to fresh air?
She was allergic to cold, which I think is complete nonsense. But, yeah, that she was laying on the slab and the slab was cold and she almost died. And the doctors were like, oh, she's allergic to cold.
Yeah.
That's not a thing, lady.
Yeah.
We're all allergic to cold. Just ask Brian. Oh, shoot, my coffee. Oh, cat. Okay, never mind.
Did he knock over your coffee?
He knocked my coffee cup, yes. Luckily, it was almost empty. I found another update here. Matthew Sherwin on Amazon, a Hall of Fame reviewer, says, engaging, sensitive, and underrated documentary. Underrated. It says, after having some contact with director Steve Earnhart, who was originally in that area to film a music video, resident Beanie Andrew persisted in sending countless unsolicited videotapes to Earnhardt. And Earnhardt eventually decided to return to Florida and work there to make their own horror movie film complete with costumes that they could dig up from the storage area of one of the residents, Annabelle, the costume lady.
So he helped them make that
Yeah, apparently.
Well, that explains why the titles and stuff look so cool.
Yeah. And the DVD comes with a few bonus extras, like Miss Jeannie's own song, DUI Blues.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I think we get most of it in the end credits.
Right, that's true,
this. Yeah.
Oh, it says here, Earnhardt was in Florida scouting locations for a low-budget horror film he hoped to do called Devil Deer.
Oh.
At least it wasn't a llama movie.
Yeah.
Fortunately for us, that deal fell through, but he did wind up producing a music video called Book of Angels for Jim White instead, and they decided to film it at Mayport. Beanie Andrew and some of his friends were cast in the video. The die was cast. After that, there was no escaping Beanie, who sent numerous unsolicited tapes to Earnhardt, trying to convince him that there was tons of local talent and endless amounts of wonderful locations around Mayport, and Earnhardt should really come back and make a film with them. Earnhart was charmed by the entire thing and amazed by the sheer energy and persistence of Andrew. He knew there was indeed a film there and that he was going to make it, but he had no idea how it was going to end.
So that scene of him filming the little grave marker, that girl died in 1996. So we know that this is at least 1996 or later.
Oh, then Beanie must have died. Yeah, he died wow. Yeah.
Soon after the...
Yeah, like in 2005. Like 40 years after this came out.
Yeah.
Oh, so awkward, the scene where they're talking to the junkyard owner, asking him if they can shoot the movie, and the junkyard owner is just standing there awkwardly looking in the distance. Can we make a movie in here? He's like, yep. Because he knows he's on camera. When people get on camera, they get super awkward, right?
Yeah.
Especially if they're not trained to be in front of a camera. They just don't know what to do. It's really genuine that they're just sitting out in the backyard, just wearing like old white T-shirts.
Yeah.
Like you can tell that they were wearing a shirt and they took off the shirt because it was hot.
Yeah.
And that's their Hanes inner T-shirt. Yeah. Oh, this is where they get into how Larry got himself a male bride from the Philippines.
Yeah.
Which turns out to be a more wholesome story than you'd think.
Well, it's interesting. They talk about this kid that he has, but it's like this kid never appears anywhere in the film.
Sure, yeah.
The kid and the wife both are like almost not in the movie at all.
Yeah, I guess they're just not interested in being there, or he just didn't want to mix his personal life into this.
Well, but he's talking about it extensively, though.
That's true. Well, he says the wife doesn't really care about movies and stuff, so, she probably wasn't interested. And he must have gotten married, back in his late 40s or 50s, because the wedding pictures, he's looking pretty old. But, they clean offices and dentist offices and stuff, and they make a living that way. It seems like there's a lot of people in Florida who end up having like women either from Eastern Europe or the Philippines.
Yeah. Well, and when he was telling this story, I'm like, well, we never see this lady, so now we're going to hear the story about how she got her green card and left him.
Oh, no. Yeah.
But that didn't happen that way, I guess.
I kind of thought about that a little bit too, but then I saw that they're still living together, working together, have a son. I'm like, okay, that turned out pretty nice. I think, the director does make a documentary that gives some dignity to these people. You can tell he was really like enamored with them, impressed. Yeah. And, in a way, Earnhart was also kind of an amateur filmmaker, right? I mean, this is probably one of the first things he did direct, even though he was a production director at Miramax.
Yeah.
The spirit of an ancient anthropoid man.
Yeah.
So he's like a were-ape or something. Right. I want my arm. And like you said, they could have just like snuck the arm behind him or something.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't have been hard, but it's like, it seems like they're doing it on purpose, but I don't know why.
Yeah, and Ricky Licks is going to be the guy who took his arm. And then the monster is going to take Ricky Licks' arm in retaliation and put it on his own body and use his arm.
Well,
somehow.
And it's interesting that the subplot of that movie is that Ricky Licks' character is like a second fiddle, and he's jealous of the guy who's like the lead of his band or whatever. And it's like, that's pretty real.
I love the way they just put the writer writing on his typewriter with a green screen of like clouds and stuff behind him.
Yeah.
It just looks like that old. There used to be like a production company. I think it was McCann or something.
Yeah.
And it would show a guy writing on a typewriter and pulls it out and just throws it in the air, and the page kind of animates and turns into a logo for the production company. There used to be a company like that.
Yeah, he's really mad that somebody tried to give him notes on how to be a gorilla.
Yeah. I'm in a Facebook group called Ape Suit Cinema.
Really?
And people discussing old movies that had actors with ape suits.
Wow.
Yeah. One of my friends on Facebook made a movie called Psycho Ape. I think the budget for that was like $25.
We had at the mall here in Fairbanks, we used to have during the summer solstice, there was a oh God, what did they call that? It was a sale at the mall, and basically you get free stuff if you go over there and you get bananas, and you bring the banana with a sticker with a certain store number on it. And there was a guy in a pink gorilla suit. And we used to go to that every year, and Jennifer mainly just wanted to get like 1 million bananas and freeze them to put them in smoothies and stuff.
Yeah. That's fascinating. A pink gorilla suit guy?
Yeah.
He would bring you the bananas?
Yep.
That is a total gimmick that would work for me. I would go there every day. I would totally go there. Oh, Larry's talking about his family, that his dad was an alcoholic. And the fear of like the atomic war and stuff.
Oh, I missed this part when I was watching it before. I guess I tuned out for a second.
Damn.
But he's still hanging around with a bunch of alcoholics.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it looks like he didn't end up with those vices himself.
Yeah.
This is like him talking about the demonic aspects of the human condition.
Yeah.
Sure. Yep. Is that I'm not perfect. I cuss. Ooh.
Yeah.
Watch out. We got a badass over here. Nobody's perfect. Hey, Ricky Lex. He's like a trailer park Ronnie James Dio. Seriously, this guy is pretty badass. Yeah, chemical imbalances are a thing. Especially if you get vices, that will just worsen the chemical imbalances in your brain.
Yeah.
The darkness. It's true. It's true. A lot of people, fight the darkness by focusing into one thing that they're good at and getting into that zone. Just like he's doing. It's like when he plays his guitar, he's expressing himself, and it becomes his thing,
Yeah.
Got to get that serotonin flowing. Beanie is talking about how he fought his demons.
Yeah.
Yeah. He replaced alcohol with dancing and guitar playing and stuff. That's constructive. So I have a question for you, Ryan. Can you tell me the name of the movie that they're making?
Turnabout is Fair Play.
There we go. Turnabout is Fair Play, because the monster wants to get revenge on the guy who took his arm.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Now I think we're going to go into the Vietnam stuff with Steve Walker.
Oh, yeah.
This man looks like he's chopped out of wood.
Yeah, and this is a major contrast compared to Beanie's story about being a war veteran. He's like, I didn't hurt anybody. I mainly hurt myself more than anyone else.
Yeah. You know, I'm not surprised that this guy, you know, is how he is, because he was in Vietnam.
He's a total burnout now.
Yeah. And he's really bitter about this. He talks about how, you know, it was all for money, and America sending its kids out to die.
Yeah.
It definitely has ghosts. He still wakes up like punching thin air in his sleep. So
yeah. My dad used to do that. He would, when he got home from Vietnam and his mom, my grandmother, came over to wake him up, he punched her in the face one time. Yeah,
I'm sorry about that. I had in Portugal, we didn't have the closest thing we had to that, which almost marked a generation, was the colonial wars in Africa. Because Portugal, back in the 60s, late 60s, there was a thing called the colonial wars. Mozambique, Angola was at the time colonies of Portugal, and then they declared independence, and there was a lot of there was a prolonged years old conflict there. And a lot of people came back from Africa, and they would just drink themselves into a stupor, you know. I had an uncle who came back home from Africa, and he pretty much became an alcoholic. And I remember seeing him in the hospital, and he had the shakes and stuff. And very bad for some people, you know. Sensitive people who were just regular folks being sent off to see, you know, people getting their noses cut off, people getting chopped with katanas and shooting people. And it's just horrible. War is never honorable. War is never, nobody wins. And these conflicts have a way of destroying a generation. Oh, it's his girlfriend or friend.
Yeah, he has more than one over the course of this movie.
This is like a little impromptu music video here, with that old classic car in the back is just sitting in and he's got an American flag wrapped around his head. He's a really good player too. He's got all those tattoos around his torso. These are, you know, there's a breed of Americans that are still kind of like pioneers in a way, right? I mean, there's a lot of people over there in Alaska that just like to live in the fringes. They get the boats out there in Alaska, and they go out to the places where almost nobody lives except the community people live around boats and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I end up having to deal with people like this at work. You know.
Yeah.
People, our Fairbanks, you'll see like a $500,000 house next to a burned up trailer, and so we don't really have homeowners associations exactly, or architectural control.
Yeah. The only thing you can do is try to figure out how much how much taxation needs to be done about someone's house if they've changed their properties and stuff. Yeah.
What? Well, yeah, we figure out the value.
Oh, here's the gorilla
taxable
costume.
Value.
Yeah, here's the gorilla costume. That actually looks kind of nice.
Yeah.
He's like a Florida trailer park Forrest Ackerman. Ah, that's cool. Now you got to hide your arm behind your back, buddy, because you're missing an arm.
Yeah.
I think there was a show on TV, like the Discovery Channel or something, about people who live out in those boat places in Alaska. Those kind of like square barge homes.
Where in Alaska is that?
I'm not sure. Let me see if I can find that out. It's called Boat People or something.
Oh. Well, I live in the center of the state, so we don't have that.
Southeast Alaska, I think.
Okay.
Homer, Alaska.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That Homer is where I go fishing, but that's a 13-hour drive from here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we go halibut fishing there.
They're doing ghoul makeup now.
Ghoul makeup?
Yeah.
I think you're ahead of me again.
I am? Okay.
Now it's the ghoul makeup.
Okay, she's getting the ghoul makeup put on. I love her costume.
Yeah.
Ricky Licks with his Jacksonville t-shirt.
Yeah.
Chased by a mob.
Yeah, and when they hoist him up on that, it's funny, this part where they hoist him up on that crane and he's hanging there.
Yeah.
And he says, like, you know, I want to really do a good job on this. And he's holding like a beer and a cigarette. You know, it's like, you're not doing a good job. That's not very realistic, Ricky Lake.
And you know what? I think this is the part of the movie where the monster has cut his arm off and he's just hanging over there.
Yeah.
And you can see he's got both arms.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, and he said, I trust in your technology. It's like, yeah, I don't know, man. This doesn't look very safe.
Sometimes you got to do things you don't want to. No kidding.
Yeah.
But they did a good job with that crane. They filled it up with bushes and stuff, so it looks like it looks like a train filled with bushes, but it doesn't look like a tree or anything.
Yeah.
Oh my God, look. Like you got the cut up arm.
Yeah.
And they even got the blood spurt coming out of his shoulder.
Yeah.
They're doing some ADR.
Yeah.
This definitely has a slow down pitch thing here.
Yeah, and as I was watching this last night, I was thinking, well, wait a minute. This seems like if they're doing ADR, that's more than these guys would know how to do. So yeah, now we kind of understand that the director was getting involved with their movie.
Well, maybe, but I mean, you know, that if you're into movies, you probably know that they would do something like this because at night, you know, some people like the guy hanging probably couldn't be mic'd up. So, yeah.
Well, the first movie I ever made, we just edited everything right in the camera, you know, as we were going.
Yeah. So you use the microphone on the camera?
Yeah, we used, but we also did all our cuts right in the camera, and if something was bad, we'd back it up and pause it there and start again. I mean, it didn't, so we learned over time after doing a bunch of those that, you know, how to actually like edit after the fact.
So basically the movie starts with like a guitar competition or something.
What's that?
So I think the movie starts with their movie Fair Play.
Yeah.
Turnabout is Fair Play. Starts with like a music competition to the death.
Right. And Ricky Lix's character is he happy? I forget. Or Happy is the one that Beanie plays, maybe. One of them, yeah, the Ricky Lix character is jealous of the Beanie character.
Yeah. And it cuts his arm off, right?
Yeah.
So he won't play the guitar anymore.
He gets him in, and he's somehow, I guess he's responsible for his car accident, which I don't really get exactly how that.
Yeah, I looked around to see if there was any way to find the movie Turnabout is Fair Play, but I couldn't find anything. I would really like to watch that movie.
Well, isn't the movie in its entirety in this documentary, isn't it?
I don't think so. I think it's just bits and pieces, right? Because they cut to people talking and laughing, and then you just see the beginning, and then you see the ending.
Oh, I thought that was the whole thing. I mean, they said it was a short film.
Oh, well, I guess it must be most of it then.
I don't know.
I would still like to know if there's a way to get the actual short film, you know?
Yeah.
Because I'd be interested in that. Yeah. Let's get her done. They're having a disagreement on set.
Yeah. Yeah, and he seems really drunk.
At the end. Because I like at the end, Beanie's character is talking to Ricky Lix hanging there and is like, turnabout is fair play. And then he starts playing music, and that's like with the ghouls just standing around him. So, yeah, their movie is very tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Well, it doesn't seem like they mean it to be. I don't know.
Like, they didn't really mean it to be scary.
Well, no, I mean, like, they didn't mean it to be funny.
Oh, I think they did. I mean, when Beanie starts playing the song with, like, the ghouls around him singing as a choir, I think that's, pretty funny. They're laughing when they're watching the movie, too.
What's he talking about? That's nonsense.
Yeah, he's using regular light bulbs to grow orchids, and that doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
He's got to have grow lights. Maybe that's a grow light.
And it's right after this part, everybody starts talking about how someone gave him a drink, and then he went crazy and became a raging drunk.
Yeah.
Which is sad, because he's the only one out of all that group that wasn't a raging drunk.
Well, something was there, you know?
Yeah.
Something just set him off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, people have problems, you know? People have problems in their life. I mean, his shrimping thing went out. He's living in a trailer park. I wonder if this guy is the definition of fake it till you make it, like pretending to be happy just so he doesn't get down on his luck.
Mm. Yeah.
It's just a way to overcompensate. Charlene, trailer park manager. He walked around the park with an axe at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad he sorted himself out, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Man, look at that. Jacksonville, Florida, monsoon season.
Yeah, he's sitting there on a bench in the rain with his foot underwater.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to live in Florida just because I don't like rain. Living in the desert was so good because I've lived in northern Portugal by the beach, the Atlantic, and I had enough rain there to last me a lifetime, you know?
Oh, I think rain is fine. I kind of miss it.
Well, yeah, I mean, when the option is snow, right?
Yeah.
But when I visited Orlando, that was the one time I was in Florida, I just was miserable. It's like, it's muggy, it's hot, it rains every like 20 minutes. And I was like, oh, I hate this. I wouldn't be able to live here. It's a tropical climate. I discovered I'm not partial to tropical climates. Your dad was living in Panama, right?
Yeah.
Is he still there or did he move?
No, he's in Florida now.
Oh, yeah, okay. So I guess he loves the tropical weathers.
Yeah, he does.
I guess Alaska wasn't for him then.
Yeah, well, he was here for 20-something years.
Yeah, he's probably like, I've seen enough snow to last me a lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's your fault, Steve Walker.
What does her t-shirt say? Mad Bomber?
I guess. Mad Bombs?
Mad Bombs.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it is Bomber.
Yeah, from the update that I read on that Amazon review, I guess this is the guy who cleaned up, got sober, and now has a welding thing.
He didn't seem like he was sober when he was welding during this part, though. Because later on when this lady cheats on him and he moves out and he says, I need somebody that'll accept me for me, a drunk musician.
Yeah.
So he's...
Well, you're always recovering. You're always a recovering alcoholic.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's actually like fully sober.
Yeah. So this is sad. He's saying that he went bankrupt because of trying to take care of his mother.
Yeah, that'll happen. You know, medical debts in America.
Yeah.
They'll bankrupt you. Oh, that's his mother. That's one of those things that it's so messed up. It's the way that people don't have proper health care in this country.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. He's tumbling his mother on the bed.
Yeah.
Changing her diapers. And man, that's one of those things if I grow old, I never want to be stuck in a bed like that for years. Because what's the point, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure, you got people taking care of you, but you're like, if you're completely helpless like that,
yeah,
I don't know. We say that, but then we hold on to life when we get to that point.
We had Jennifer's dad come and visit us a little while ago, and that was really sad. He's in bad shape.
I'm sorry to hear that.
He couldn't remember why he was in Fairbanks, or it was. He would ask questions that he should have known the answer to.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Dementia is in Sarah's family history, so she always tries to keep her brain occupied and in good shape, because you never know what. Oh, look at that doggy! It looks like Frankenweenie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever have a dog, Ryan?
Yeah. Yeah, I had Ator.
Oh, that's right, Ator. You mentioned him before.
Yeah.
Was that after you got married or when you were a kid?
No, I got him when I was a teacher in a village. And I had him up until Joel was like 3 or something is when he died.
Oh, yeah.
He lived to be, I think, 16.
What kind of dog was Ator?
He was a mutt. He was like a terrier, wiener dog, beagle.
Oh, that sounds like he was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Did he like the snow?
He was okay with it, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Luckily, Beanie got sober for 9 years. That was the last time he got sober.
The village that I lived in, the kids would hunt all the loose dogs that were running around, and they would get $10 for every dog carcass that they brought to the council. So when one day this dog ran into the school, and all the other teachers said, "Ryan, you got to take this dog. If you don't, he's going to die." And we've all taken too many dogs as it is, so I took him.
Oh my God! Is that the story of Ator?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's so touching, Ryan. And also gruesome that kids were just shooting up dogs.
Yeah. Well, and for $10 they would, there'd be a dog on a leash on somebody, or on a rope on somebody's property, and they just cut the rope and shoot the dog so they could get
Jesus Christ. $10. That's how you raise kids to be psychos.
Yeah.
Ugh.
They were only supposed to be shooting stray dogs, but it's $10.
Yeah, it quickly turns into abusing the system.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with like people catching mice and stuff.
Yeah.
But not dogs. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, were they that big of an issue? Like packs of dogs attacking people or something?
Yeah. People would get dogs because it was a status symbol to have a dog.
Yeah.
But then they couldn't take care of them, and they just kind of let them go.
Terrible. Oh, this he's telling the story of how he got into the 12-step program.
Oh,
that he was just basically living in filth.
Yeah.
And he just asked the guy to take him to the hospital.
And the church would give them food, and they would sell the food to buy alcohol.
Yep, that's addiction.
Yeah.
Addiction is terrible. It takes the dignity out of people.
Yeah.
Is that like a halfway house?
Yeah, I guess so.
Hey, that's where he lives. He's got some flair in his bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, basically he's poor.
Yeah.
And I guess he helps out other people who are also down on their luck there.
Yeah.
You got to work on those lyrics, buddy.
Yeah.
That's nothing but yeehaw.
Yeah. Well, it's the same tune as the Itsy Bitsy Spider.
Oh, was it? Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't recognize it. All right, he's celebrating 1 year sobriety.
Yeah.
Man, he sounds like a nice fella to know.
So I'm guessing this was filmed between like maybe 1997 and 2000.
Uh-huh.
And then came out in 2001. That's what it seems like.
And old Beanie passed away around 2004, 2005.
But since we're following all these old people who don't have much, it's like all their equipment is from 10, 15 years ago.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff like Beanie's camera, probably found it at Goodwill or something.
Yeah.
Oh, this is such a cool shot of Beanie in a big movie theater.
Yeah, dancing on a stage with nobody's watching.
I love those big movie theaters, the classic red curtains and stuff. One thing that multiplexes don't have is that kind of character. It's just a big metal auditorium with comfy chairs. Yep. They're talking about sobriety.
Yeah.
You know, people who are alcoholics, they tend to get that like reddish skin tone with all the capillaries showing, and especially if you smoke, you kind of turn into this tanned, leathery kind of hide person.
Yeah.
It really takes it out of you. You're lucky you don't smoke or drink.
Yeah.
Miss Jenny.
Oh, here's where she's going to talk about how she threw that guy out.
Oh, yeah, cool. Hey, I need one of those beds that's automatic.
Yeah.
Sleep number bed.
Yeah.
That looks super comfortable. Why is Florida furniture for old people always beige? Everything is beige.
I don't know. Well, I think that was just the 90s style.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, if you look at the Star Trek The Next Generation, it looks like the interior of a motorhome from the 90s.
Yeah, you got a point there. Yeah, that's true.
This is a little bit of padding.
Yeah, this is the part where I kind of like, started thinking about skipping it a little ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's easy to live in a trailer park when you live in Florida because it's warm. It's never going to get frozen. I guess there are areas in Florida where it snows. I'm not familiar with Florida that much, but also it's just that the weather.
I was trying to hear what she said about why she threw him out.
Oh, sorry. You want to rewind?
No, well, we can't. She said he wanted to do something, but instead I threw him out. But I couldn't understand what she said.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well.
You can tell she's got her best outfit on.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't understand who this award is from. Your friends in music.
Huh. Yeah, there's no name of who awarded her that.
Maybe it's on that symbol on the top there.
It's probably like a local thing. Like some friends got together and gave her that plaque.
Yeah. But honestly, it's hard to sympathize with somebody who gets DUIs. I mean, they could kill somebody.
Yep. That's true. Is that biscuits and gravy?
Yeah, he's talking about how she was cheating on him with the neighbor, and he just packed up his stuff and left.
Yep. I mean, I'm sure he wasn't an easy person to live with.
Yes, no, exactly, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I could think of a few reasons there.
Yeah.
Like, he's missing a few teeth. He smokes. His teeth are all like messed up.
Yeah.
What is he doing? He's backing up into a house.
Yeah. He's putting his.
He's moving out.
Yeah.
Okay. It looks like there's a bunch of lumber on their front yard. Yep.
Stephen Earnhart. He's talking to the director. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sure. All packed, ready to go. Oh, the doggy's like, don't leave me.
I know.
Oh, here we go. Some music. You know, these guys could really like end up getting picked up, even if it's a local label and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something here, you know?
Yeah.
That's an OSHA violation right there.
Not wearing his goggles.
Not wearing his goggles, yeah.
Yeah. A drunk.
Yeah.
Drunk musician or whatever. Yeah.
Yep. Like a lot of musicians out there. Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's that lady with the emaciated legs.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Production begins. The Florida Times Union tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll see here if this is the full movie or if this is just showing parts of it. I'm not sure.
Hey, we got ourselves Jacksonville premiere, folks.
Yeah.
Players by the Sea Theater. Oh my God. Wow, look at Jenny. Hey, Ricky Licks, my man.
Yeah.
Another review says, amid the economic wasteland of a Buccaneer/Jacksonville community, still nostalgic for the days when Hollywood filmed in their backyards, Beanie produces a film and makes his friends feel like they're the center of the universe. For a moment, they're movie stars. For a moment, there is no pain.
Yeah.
Yep. And this is just reviews you can read on Amazon website for this. So I don't think we need to put it in the show notes.
Right. Yeah, all I have for show notes really is that revelatory interview 21.
Hey, here's Beanie getting himself a nice suit for the premiere. Hell yeah.
Tuxedo.
A montage. They should have like Steve Earnhart here giving a thumbs up when he comes out with a costume. It's like, how about this? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to his IMDb and Steven Earnhardt doesn't have a picture. So
they didn't have a limo to drop them off, but they had like one of those buggies.
Yeah, that was cool. I wanted to see if I could figure out which cultist he was. But
I tried looking that up too, but I don't recognize his face. So
I keep wondering if he's the one that kneels down on the glass.
I know from what I see on his website, he kind of looks a little bit almost like Danny Elfman. He kind of looks a little bit like Danny Elfman. So I'm not sure which cultist he was. Maybe he's just one of the background ones.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing is that if this were a mockumentary, it would be hard to come up with characters like this.
Yeah, and I mean, mockumentary would be making fun of the stuff,
Yeah.
And I think that this is actually there's a lot of heart in this.
Yeah.
Mr. Larry, the writer.
Yeah.
Hi, folks. I think he opens up the narration of the movie, and he's just sitting in a chair. He's doing almost like the Amazing Griswold says, and he's like, this movie has some stuff that you're gonna see.
Yeah.
Yep. I like the way that they set up the stage with like a backdrop of like a swamp and a little deck chair.
Lawn furniture.
Yeah. And they just projected that on a tiny white thing. Here we go.
It's like a school movie screen.
Yeah. Happy Miller and Rick Dixon. I like the jars with preserved like things behind them.
Yeah.
It might shock you. It might horrify you.
You might be wanting it to end.
Is fair play. He could have delivered that a little better, but he's not a real actor.
Mm-hmm.
Bean Tile Productions presents. That is a great entrance.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can tell that the director helped him out with this stuff.
Yeah, you got the silhouette of the
That's cool.
monster.
Yeah.
Starring Miss Jeannie. Oh. You got the Tales from the Crypt blood dripping down the screen.
Yeah.
I wonder how they got the budget for this.
Yeah, I'm guessing that...
whose life savings went into this?
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, I'm guessing that Stephen Earnhart helped with it.
Probably. Oh, look, see, Ricky Licks is drinking a beer at the premiere.
Yeah.
Yeah, Happy Miller is Beanie, and Dixon is Ricky Licks.
I wonder if he was really drunk when he was performing that.
Yeah, there's acting, and then, I don't know.
Method acting.
Method acting?
Yeah.
This really has a Southern feel to it.
Yeah.
Oh, they're at the crossroads. And Happy Miller's a champion.
They all have to be holding a beer at all times.
Oh, the way they do the...
Yeah.
There it is. This blood spurting.
Yeah. So how is Rick responsible for that car accident?
I mean, yeah, that's a good question. And if Happy died in the car crash, why is he emerging from the mud of the swamp now?
Yeah.
Oh, he's emerging from his own grave. Yeah.
Oh. See there, he's got two arms.
Oh, wait, that's not a gorilla. That's not a gorilla mask.
No, it's not. They didn't want to get mud on it, I think.
Yeah. I want my arm back.
He's got two arms. Like, why are you saying that?
I guess you could argue that the monster has two arms, but Happy Miller died without an arm.
Yeah, so his spirit went into the monster?
Yeah, because that's what killed him, was bled to death with the...
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
He's going to kill him in front of his own shrine.
Yeah.
Oh, with a hatchet.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is great. And here we go. Another one of those cuts with the blood dripping down the screen.
Yeah.
And they don't explain why everybody are ghouls right now either. Yeah.
No. I mean, maybe there is more to the movie, but I kind of am... my guess is no.
And they're going to hang him up.
Yeah.
Oh, his arm is inside his shirt. So, yeah, in this last scene.
Yeah.
So they did try to hide the fact that he had an arm, but you can totally see the elbow like poking out of the shirt.
But at least they should have put it behind his back instead of in front.
Yeah. Is fair play. Dun, dun. Oh, hear the ghouls singing as a choir.
Yeah. He's getting him back because he got in a car accident.
Da, da. And even the strung up guy is kind of nodding to the music.
Yeah.
Everybody's singing, clapping. This is great. Wow. I hope it was a little longer than this because it was just this. Yeah. It was a little underwhelming.
Yeah.
But, you know.
It probably is, but I don't know.
They had a chance to have their fun.
Maybe the movie will explain why him getting in the car accident is Ricky's fault.
Yeah. It'll grow back, dude. Huh. Yeah. You think my movie was better than Blair Witch? Well, it was better than Barn of the Blood Llama, I guess.
Yes, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Did you ever save Barn of the Blood Llama after you ripped it? I don't remember if I still have it or not.
When we came back from Texas for Happy Weekend, I realized I lost the disc. I don't know where it was, but I have it ripped. Yeah, if you want, I can send you a copy.
I probably have it. I have to go dig through all my podcast stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, now everybody's like excited about the movie.
Yeah.
Everybody's like reminiscing about the production.
Yeah.
And this is a little awkward where Steve Walker is talking to Larry saying, we should do a barbecue. And the guy's like, all right.
Yeah.
You got some crazy stuff in your head.
Yeah.
I suppose I have.
Yeah.
It's commendable that they managed to do this. It got everybody together. They expressed themselves creatively. They had some fun doing it. Oh, look at the monster dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, this didn't discover anybody, except for this documentary.
Yeah.
You got some newspaper clippings of that.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Beanie. Oh, he's dancing with a monster. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's giving a good advice here at the end. If, basically what he's saying is don't let your dreams be dreams. If you want to do it, just do it.
If you fall in the mud, maybe you'll come back out as a gorilla.
Yep. Oh, here's Miss Jeannie. Lots of Schnapps Productions.
Oh my God! Wait, she's got that in the car with her? Oh, because it's her music video.
And you see the double vision effect.
Yeah, making light of drinking and driving is not cool.
Yeah, I know you guys in Alaska have a lot of issues with that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, now that cannabis is legal in Alaska, that would get some people off of alcohol. It's still not cool to drive under the influence.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
That doesn't look like a prison toilet. It just looks like a regular toilet.
Yeah, and you see the bricks in the back wall, they're green screen.
Yeah.
Because when the camera moves, there's no parallax effect.
Yeah.
There used to be a show like Cops, except it was recorded in Pensacola. It was called Blue Lights. So they would film the cops, driving around and catching people.
Yeah.
It's like, lady, let me see that. You got a bottle of schnapps in the car? You're going to jail.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All the snacks and stuff coming out in cans.
Ugh.
This music video is like someone just found out they could do green screen effects and just used everything they could.
Yeah.
There's some reviews at Rotten Tomatoes for this.
Okay.
Watching Beanie and his gang put together a slasher video from spare parts and borrowed materials is as much fun as it must have been for them to make it. Oh, and here's a good point. It might be tempting to regard Mr. Andrew and his collaborators as oddballs, but Mr. Earnhardt's quizzical, charming movie allows us to see them finally as artists. Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
That's on...
Lots of Schnapps Productions.
Well, you know that Mule Skinner Blues has 82% on Tomatometer on Rotten Tomatoes.
Really?
And it's got an 81% audience score.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I liked it. I thought it was fun.
I thought it was rough to get through.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I just have to deal with people like that all the time. I'm always having to drive into trailer parks and not knowing if I'm going to get like a meth head or whatever when I knock on their door.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's a possibility. It says Buccaneer Trailer Park. It doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
Something about that font is like, oh, there, now it's kind of resolved. Maybe it was just how this was ripped. It looks all fuzzy and disconnected.
The filmmakers would like to express their heartfelt gratitude to Tyler Greenwell, the patron saint of this film, without whose guidance, knowledge, house, and food, this film would not have been possible.
There's Clive Barker.
Special thanks to
first on the
Clive
list.
Barker.
Yeah.
Joe Daly.
There's a lot of other people on there.
Yep. Don and Sue Earnhart, probably his parents. There's a guy called Dick Dong.
Yeah. No gorillas were harmed in the making of this documentary. All scenes depicting violence to gorillas was simulated.
And there's the footage that you were talking about from other movies.
Yeah.
And the music credits.
Yeah.
Yep.
You gotta reap what you sow.
What a great, heart-filled documentary. Yeah. I can see why Clive would have enjoyed this.
Yeah.
And glad that he put his name on this so I could watch it, because I wouldn't have watched this otherwise. I probably would never have known about it.
Yeah. Well, it's not easy to get a hold of either. I think
right.
Your best bet is to look for it on like eBay or something.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how many people are going to be watching this commentary track, watching the actual movie. I hope you do, because there's some parts here that are going to not make a lot of sense. They're going to sound pretty empty. Again, a commentary track at its core should be watching the movie, should be listened to.
So if you have this movie and you watched it with us, let us know. I'd like to hear about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that probably the majority of the people, maybe just are like us and just heard about it, but never actually saw the movie.
Oh, a last message from the writer.
Yeah.
Yep. He's doing an outro for the film.
He talks so slowly.
Pleasant dreams after this movie, I'm sure. I like the painting on the wall with the captain with his long sideburns.
Yeah.
Smoking a pipe.
And that's the end of the credits.
Sundance. They saw something in this and glad they distributed it. So that was Mule Skinner Blues.
Yeah.
What are we doing up next?
Well, coming soon, we're going to be back to A-Z Commentaries. So this was kind of us getting our last Clive Barker related movie commentary done. But we're going to be doing A-Z Commentaries, U for Unborn, and Rosemary's Baby. And so on this, we kind of skipped the letter V for Vice Versa, right? Which was about Clive Barker movies.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So we're going to be doing Rosemary's Baby?
Mm-hmm. And then more Jericho Squad 77, more interviews. We're going to have an episode about Visions of Heaven and Hell. We've got episodes with our Kickstarter contributors too.
Hey, that's great. Yeah. Looking forward to those. They're going to be pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they've definitely got some ideas about what they want to do. We just have to get it put together.
We'll catch you guys again next time we do an episode for news or for Rosemary's Baby. And there's some news that came out recently, but we'll get to those when we do our episode.
And this podcast, having no beginning, will have no end.
Sweet dreams.
Thank you for joining us, and we hope you have subscribed. You can find the Clive Barker Podcast wherever you find audio. Show notes for this episode, as well as news and reviews, can be found at our website at www.clivebarkercast.com. The Clive Barker Podcast, or BarkerCast, is an independent editorial podcast and blog that is not affiliated with or under contract by Clive Barker or Seraphim Inc. This is a labor of love by the fans for the fans. Watch for our annual Kickstarter fundraisers to get some cool stuff, and you can buy t-shirts on our TeePublic store. Go to teepublic.com and search for BarkerCast.
Thanks for listening.